what Spirit teaches us is that, you know, Spirit has always taught me, you know, we're made in the eyes of God and the Goddess, so imagine what we can do, right? And so when I do feel like shit, like I have been lately, you know, oh, and let's talk about, you know, grief, you know, because I've lost 3 people in 2 years, you know, to death, like one boom. I never had time to grieve because I have to work, you know, you always have to fucking work. And so I think I've just reached this point in my life where, you know, I'm 45 and I've done a lot and I'm thankful for everything, but it's like, now I see all these other women hurting and I'm just like, fuck, I gotta fix myself so I can come back and be a warrior again, you know, because people are going to need that in these times of change. We have a massive shift coming in our world, you know, and it's a spiritual consciousness. And I talked to some healers the other day about it, like what's going to happen in 2012, right? Because I have some people that go, what's 2012? I'm like, oh my fucking God, are you serious? Because, like, are you not educating yourself about the history of you know, spirituality and what people have been saying, the prophets for hundreds, even biblical terms, if you want to go biblical, we can, you know what I mean? Like, people, that's how numb people are in our world, right? Because we got to have everything, the internet, the texting, the detachment of the soul and the spirit and the Mother Earth. Oh, the bumper sticker! So, I saw this bumper sticker, and it said, we belong to Mother Earth. Mother Earth doesn't belong to us. And I went, that just said everything I've been trying to teach people, right? Because when Mother Earth is sick like she is right now, like she is, that she's fighting back, right? A crow man said that, he said that Mother Earth is waking up and stretching her arms and legs and people are becoming afraid, right? Because she's a powerful bitch when she wakes up, right? Because she causes earthquakes and tsunamis, and she's shifting, and the Earth, that 3-hour Earth, you know, eclipse, like that's what people aren't realizing is what Mother Earth is doing. And because we are attached scientifically through energy, I studied this stuff, we are energy, and so because we are attached, right, to everything in energy, that we are starting to feel that shift within our own spirits, and that's what the butterfly feeling is, and the feeling of, oh, I need to do more, I need to acknowledge more in my life, right? Because even men are feeling it. I'm reading more men now than I ever have before. So everyone's reaching out to spirit right now because they feel it in their soul. It's time. And I know it sounds really weird and all that, but you'll see, like, we're going to have more spiritual leaders than religious leaders. Spirituality is coming back full force because Mother Earth is making it that way. And then I was talking to a healer yesterday, and I said, well, do you think that massive people will die? And she goes, of course. And that's what Spirit always teaches us, is that, Faye, we're at war. We're at war. There's casualties in war. So, yeah, people are going to die. So that's just how it is. But then out of that death comes a new awakening for people. And so, you know, it's not going to end the world by any stretch, thank God. Because we have beautiful children who are being born that are psychic and going to be great healers in this new nation. But we are going to be shifting from unconscious to conscious because we have to. It's the only way we're going to survive, which I think is, I'm looking forward to it, to be honest. That's why I'm moving away, because I like the atmosphere of a small town. I like that I can walk my dog down the street and people will stop and say hi to me. I get down fucking Seattle, like we just invited people into the show for free and they had an attitude about it. It's like, are you fucking kidding? You know, like what is wrong with people? You know, you don't even have to pay. You can bring your food in and sit and just...
Or you could just say no.
So that's what I mean. I'm just tired of it. And I think it just wears me down as a healer because I just want to love, you know. I just want to have this community where we feed each other and play with each other and teach each other things, and it's just impossible, you know, because people are fuckers. So I'm just going to start reading. So when I read people, what I do is I just kind of let Spirit do the work. My readings are, I do healings on people, I do readings on people, I do readings for corporations. I do worldly predictions and stuff, but not that often, and when I do, it's very private. I'm actually going to be published, though, I think in July, which I'm excited about, because I actually did some predictions, so riding my ass on that public eye again, fuckers.
Do you bless houses?
Yes.
Thank you.
I bless houses, and I do funerals and counseling. I work with soldiers with PTSD. That's all free. And I do missing persons. That's all free. So I'm just going to start reading. So what I do when I read is I just kind of go into another place. But I actually want to start over here. And I just let Spirit tell me what to do. And, you know, I mean, you guys have seen this a million times, right? Except you guys haven't, but Spirit just goes. Donna, take a couple of breaths. So when I do my work, what I'm doing, you guys, is this isn't like, my grandma used to say that I was the one, right? This does run in your family. It's usually a female side, genetic. It skips a generation. Like, my great-grandmother was a psychic in Germany, and then it's passed down, and I was the one who got it, and my grandma knew it, and so she'd always be like, she's the one, she's the one. And then when my grandma died, it was like the worst day of my life, and she told me, like, my grandma was so fucking amazing, but she told me that she took my hand, and her last words were, Faye, I'm always going to be behind you, pushing you forward, even when you're famous. And then she closed her eyes, and I never talked to her again. And so I got this badass tattoo on my back, and it's for my grandma, so she has something to look at. Because she does. And what happens when people die, I just want to talk about this because I am a medium, too. I'm the jack of all trades. Let's get real. Right? But as a medium, when that was my main thing I started my career with, was talking to the dead. And so when we talk to the dead, it teaches us to live. And so when my grandma said she'd be behind me, pushing me forward, she meant it. Like, she knew there was life after death. She knew that she could help me better. And so what happens when our loved ones pass on is that we can still use them in a way to better our lives. Like, because, how do I word it, Spirit? Like, the energy that they can transform to us is more clear. Like, they can really help with careers. They can't really, sometimes they help with love, but that's not really their thing. Their thing is more for you to find your internal happiness, right? And I think that in Spirit we learn that that true love doesn't come from the external, it comes from the internal. And so that's what they try to teach you. So you can still use your relatives. I mean, it's pretty cool. But people just go, oh, they're dead. No, they're not dead. They're just gone. All right. So, I'm not looking at your boobs. A lot of people think I do. And so, and sometimes I do. I ain't gonna lie, because some people have nice titties. And so,
You said I did that.
Yeah, I like big boobs. So, I go kind of in there and I see what's going on, Donna. So I'm just gonna go in. Where's your dad? What's up with him?
He's just kind of detached.
Yeah. Have I read you before?
No.
No.
I know, I've come for a few years.
This is like a virgin one. You weren't ready before because before you were kind of, I think you've been on this deep journey for a couple years now where Spirit says you've been piecing together your own spirit, but you really hide a lot, and you also had some, you fear a lot of things, it looks like still, you know? But you're working through it, Spirit says. I really like you, Donna, but I think that you don't give yourself enough credit, and sometimes you're too nice to people. I know that sounds horrible. But I think that what you do is that you push out too much of yourself, right? And you're not, I think though that you're learning how to pull back in, right? And so, but, leather up. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
Like it's time to, you've been a wallflower a little too long, and you're only really boisterous with people that you get really close to, right? And so it's time to get really boisterous with what you want. I don't think you're fulfilling a lot of your passions you need to write. And Spirit says you've got a lot of wisdom in you, right? You've got this amazing woman inside of you that's really this creative artist type person, this really, this, you know, lots of wisdom to share, funny stories, you're funny yourself. You should have been maybe a stand-up comedian would have been good for you. But That's all that makes sense?
Yeah.
So sometimes what I do is I just tell you what Spirit says. You guys won't get it. Hopefully they get it. And if they don't, it's very rare that they don't. But okay. All that makes sense? Okay. And so I don't know what you're doing now, but I'm bored in it. You know what I mean? When I get into your life, I'm kind of bored. And it doesn't mean that you're boring. It just means that you're not fulfilling your life. Because when I read someone, I just walk in their path and go, okay, I see what's going on. But how's your love life?
It's pretty non-existent, but
Yeah.
I'm okay with it right
Yeah.
now. I'm learning about me.
Yeah, and I like that you're learning about you. And the thing I think that part of that is leathering up, which you know what that means, but also learning how to receive love because you give so much that you forget how to take it. And I hope that makes sense. Because that's that lesson you're at right now, and your energy shifting in your life, you know? You're about ready to really get on that Harley again and be that free spirit again. So shit happened to you, and I'm sorry. But now we have to, it's like I see you're closing those chapters now and going, okay, I've got to get control now. And I really like that about you. But I don't want you to be afraid of this, because what it's going to feel like when we go into this phase and we start to journey, and I have to read you next, that we start to feel scared. And so we'll go back into those old patterns, right? Because we're used to them. Like, I can't get on my Harley again because I got hurt. Makes sense? Well, I know.
Yeah, but yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah,
speaking
so it's
metaphorically. I'm speaking metaphorically.
Got it. Oh, got it, yeah.
And so it's like, okay, get back on spirit again because I got hurt. I call Harley spirit, and I'm sorry. But when I get on my Harley, it is my horse and it's my spirit, you know? And I think that because you ride, you probably should get back on it and find that spirit again. That's what I'm saying. And it's unfortunate things happen to you, you know, people let you down, but it happens. And I think right now, just yeah, let them out. Right, that's what you have to do anyway. You know what is funny is people know what they have to do, right? I just kind of want to give everybody, which I don't actually ever really do, is just deep readings. Because what Spirit says is that we're at a time right now where, you know, the woman is coming back, right? Like there's a big shift in the earth, and that's why a lot of people aren't going out, or they're starting to feel really kind of isolated in their spirits. And so, and like I feel it, and I know that a lot of the healers that I work with feel it, and I know that a lot of my clients are feeling it, and it's just like your spirit lives right here, right? And so this shift of energy is coming. It's almost like butterflies or fear, like a big change is coming in the world, right? But we don't know what, so it gets a little scary, you know, kind of like butterflies when you go on a first date or have a new job or something. And so, but it's like more consistent. And so some of you might know what I'm talking about, right? And I know you do. Or is it you, Donna? Yeah, you got a lot going on too. And so what happens is that we start to kind of, because, oh, I saw this great bumper sticker. See, I jump. So I saw this really great bumper sticker. I was kind of, you know, I'm going to be honest with you guys because that's how I roll, right? I'm not like going to pretend that my life is all great every day and everything. And so, because I've been going through a lot of spiritual changes myself. I've worked a lot in the public eye for almost 15 years now. And I'm exhausted, you know? And I can't do it anymore. And I finally realized that I created this career of this amazing woman called the Tattooed Psychic who really does, you know, I looked at Spirit and said, fuck, I've helped a lot of people. I'm proud of myself. And that's not bragging. That's like saying I am acknowledging what I've done, right? But then I forgot Faye, right? And Faye has a lot of fucked up problems still from childhood and, you know, having an alcoholic mom and then foster homes and molestations and not being able to have relationships with people that are normal because I've had such abuse in my life. And then I thought I had it all figured out, right? Because I did all this spiritual work and I reached to God instead of, you know, drugs and the devil. And I really tried hard to, be an example, not a victim, but a survivor, a warrior. And so I did all that stuff, and then I started realizing that I was talking to another healer who does this. She's a great shaman. Her name's Tamara New Moon, and I'd call her a shaman because she's so amazing. I don't think she would though. But I was talking to her yesterday about all of this and like how lonely this job is, because people treat you so differently, and you always have to be the happy healer and heal everybody and be like the example. But sometimes people just fucking shit on you and you just go, fuck, man, why, what's wrong with people when you try to be good, right? Because I come from the place where if you do good, then good things come back to you, right? But then good things aren't coming back to you, and you're like, fuck. But then I look at, well, good things do, because I can walk into a Harley store and buy a Harley and pay cash for it, right? Like, that's a blessing, right? That should make me happy, right? That doesn't make you happy. So success and all those things, I found just were like, wow, it's kind of lonely, right? And that's not a pity party. It's just acknowledging that maybe I need to heal myself. So I decided that what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move out of the city. I got a nice little place in Snohomish, and I'm just going to spend some time with Faye for a while and still do my work when I work 3 days a week, but I'm pulling out of a lot of things in my life. And I think that sometimes we have to do that to get to the next level of our life, because I know when I come back from this journey of self-discovery, which I have to do as a healer, that part of my work is isolating myself from others so I can come back and heal. It's a weird career, like I said, and I try to teach people about it so they can understand our work more. But anyway, so I'm at that phase of my life, and I'm really excited about it. And then all of a sudden, when I decide to make this shift, the past kind of comes back into action, because the past always comes back somehow, right, down your life. And then my 2 friends from high school and junior high showed up in my life. And I thought that was pretty amazing, too, because these are girls that knew me when I was probably really fucked up, no home, and, we, partied together. I don't think I partied with Izzy, but I know I partied with Ronnie, and she took me onto marijuana. But anyway, so... and now I want to cultivate them in my life, right? Because they're healthy girls for me, and I want healthy people in my life, not just people who want to take from me because of what I do, And I think that a lot of people get like that, especially women, because we're in roles. We have to be mothers and have a career and be a wife, but then we want our own identity, and I think men are like that too. I only speak as a woman because I am a woman, and so I think men have that too, though, and so we have this we start to lose ourselves, right? And that makes us unhappy. And so with spirit, we always are about feeding our soul and our spirit, but also acknowledging when we've just had enough. And when we have to start dealing with our own path, so we can come back and help people and be an example like I really want to be again, I think I just got burned out really quick. And I knew that I wasn't drawing people to the show, because this show can pack it out, I sell out in San Francisco and New Orleans and stuff. And so it's more, when I go to these places and there's not a lot of people, it's because I know that in my space that I haven't allowed them to come and be attracted to me, because I've put up this, I've had enough wall. But then when I'm back, like people who know me know this, when I'm back and I'm on, I'm like, fuck, yeah, it's going to rock. Then mass people come. And I'm just at that dead end point. I just have to admit it. And I think that that's what Spirit teaches us to do, is to admit our faults, admit what we have to work on, what we have to fix. And I do want to have relationships with people, and so I have to learn how to do that. And that's really hard for me, really hard. And anyone who knows me, ask Cindy, she had to pep talk me today, that anyone who knows me knows that I sabotage, because I get so pulled, people will call me like, here I am bitching about my life, but I don't care, because I think you guys can relate, like it's just a lot to deal with life, like you're just like, what the fuck, and then you want to make a difference in the world, right, and be an example and be a strong woman and show people how happy you are, and like life's great, sucks, sometimes life just sucks ass, no matter what you fucking do, it's just fucking hard, and people are fucking Sarah. Breathe. You're a great intuitive lady yourself. Very much work with the angel spirits say. That means you can see a lot of things, but maybe you don't talk about it, and that's okay. I wouldn't either if I were you. What are you hiding, you think? What are you afraid of? Huh? Being alone. You have grief, Spirit says. I'm going to go in, okay? Because I can't read your surface, I'm going to be honest. I don't bullshit people. So I actually have to get in deep with you, okay? I call it the shamanic fist fuck. Are you ready? Say that to some shamans and they just kind of look at you like, what did you just say, Faye? I'm like, it's called a shamanic fist fuck. I don't fit in anywhere, trust me. But the great thing about the healers in Sedona is they accept me, you know? And I that's my tribe. Because
cut them.
yeah, I could cut them if they didn't. But when I went to Sedona to get work and training and all that, I just love Sedona so much, and the White Wolf, and I mean, just so great healers. That, you know, I really thought they were going to judge me, because these are like really amazing healers, you know, and then I always forget, well, I do the work too, but you don't associate when you know. And so I thought, oh my God, I'm going to go there, and they're going to look at me and go, holy fuck, she's a healer, like, oh my God. And they never did. They were like, you're so amazing. Sometimes they were like, I want to get a reading from you. I know I can't because I'm here for you, but I just know that you have. So it was just this really great experience because I found my tribe. Do you know what a tribe is? You just haven't found your tribe. And I think that with you, because you are sensitive, that you have to understand that you're always going to be lonely. And that doesn't mean you have to be alone, though. And so you're not always going to be alone, just so you know that. But right now, what I want you to do is start falling in love with yourself and attracting that love energy within yourself. It looks like what happened was some grief energy kind of got settled in there. And grief doesn't have to mean that somebody died. Grief just means that pain happened, or a letdown of life, or just exhaustion. Fuck, sometimes you're just tired, you know, and you're just like, eh. But I think with you that you've got to quit fearing being alone. I'm going to teach you something Crowman said to you, okay? He said, he's the guy who's talked about the earth stretching, right? He said, sister, why are people so afraid? And I said, I don't know. Like, I've been trying to figure that out, right? Because fear is a bitch, right? Because we all have it. Fear on all kinds of levels. It's a man-made energy, just so you know. So we control it. That's what's crazy. And so he said, what we have to do with that fear energy is look at it. You should take this into heat because you have fear. That you have to look at fear and go, hey, fear, how are you? Come on in. Embrace it into your spirit and hold it in there and love it and go, I love you. And then you won't fear it no more, because then you've replaced fear with love. And fear can't go, oh, fuck you, when you're sitting there sending it love, right? And so it can, but you have the power to love it even more. And so fear will then run from love because it doesn't want it. You know, fear is a man-made energy that we have created. And so what happens is that we allow it to feed off of us. So you're actually attracting that being alone by fearing being alone. So remember that whatever we're putting out of our spirit, right, whatever we're thinking, and remember you're sensitive to things. So you got to protect yourself. You got to toughen up, leather up. Maybe you guys should hook up and leather up together. But and you do. You kind of have to be really stronger, you know, out in public and stuff, and not be so vulnerable, really. And so just remember this, though, that whatever you're putting out in your energy, right, is what you're getting back. Now that can get really scary, right? Because I had to look at that in my life this time around. Like, I'm attracting some pretty unhealthy people. So what is it that I'm actually attracting? Because I'm actually putting it out, right? And so what I found was that I was actually attracting unhealthy people because of how I was actually feeling about Faye. And so what you're doing is attracting that loneliness. So get rid of it. I'm going to teach you a little thing that White Wolf taught me. and I can't do it as good as him, but I'm just going to pass this knowledge because he's the master of it. But it's called soulmate, like retrieving your soulmate. And I just love White Wolf because he's a storyteller shaman, where he tells stories and that's how you learn. He's amazing. And so he was saying that what we do to attract love is that we have to visualize that person we want in our lives. Like, we know what our perfect mate would probably be, right? And so we visualize them, and we welcome them. He went to